Hey, what's up my friend? Super grateful to see you here. In this video, I will share with you every single thing that you need to know if you want to learn a good handstand. And I would have loved to have a video like this when I started my handstand journey, about 3.5 years ago. So I'm basically making this video for my younger self. And since you are probably very similar to my younger self, this video will be perfect for you. Alright, so let me share with you my backstory with the handstand. I started learning the handstand at the end of 2018. I was about 14 years old. And the reason why I wanted to learn the handstand was because I thought that it was the coolest skill ever. Like I saw these dudes online doing handstands and I was like, damn, that's so cool. You are literally standing, but instead of standing on your legs like a normal person, you're standing on your hands. And I thought that it was super cool. Because if I could do handstands, for example, in school, I would like be the coolest guy in school. And that's like the brain of a 14-year-old. All he cares about is just to show off. And the handstand is like a really cool skill to just show off. So yeah, that's the reasoning why I wanted to learn the handstand. But the one thing that I regret the most from the beginning of my handstand journey is the fact that I did not record any videos of me learning the handstand. I would love to see those videos right now because I was making a ton of mistakes and I would love to see how far I've come in my handstand journey. And it would be really good to also show you how far I've come so you could see where I started. And this is a learning lesson that I hope you can learn from as well. Start taking progress videos if you want to learn the handstand. Back then I thought, oh, what's the point of taking videos of recording myself doing the handstand if I cannot do the handstand? But I was missing the point. The point isn't to record yourself doing the handstand just so you could show off. The point of recording yourself is just to see if you're doing the handstand with the correct form and you're not holding a banana handstand. And another point of recording yourself is once you actually learn the handstand, you will see how far you've come. And you could actually share your story online and teach other people the handstand as well, just like I am right now. But the only problem with me is that I don't have any videos of me learning the handstand. So you will just have to trust me that I was bad at it. I was making a ton of mistakes. I remember how I was doing handstands against the wall on a mattress because I was scared of falling down and hitting my head. Seems so funny to think about it. Right now I can do freestanding handstand push-ups and I'm not scared at all. Back then I was scared of even doing a handstand against the wall. Yeah, really shows you how far I've come. And after a couple of months of training my handstand, I was forced to take, I can't remember how much time I took off, but I stopped training my handstands completely for about a year, I think, because I injured my right wrist. And you know why? Guess why? Yeah, it's because I did not warm up my wrists at all. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the wrist warm-up in this video. And I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to warm up your wrists. Because if you injure your wrists while training the handstand, then you're done. Like, you cannot train the handstand until your wrist has healed. And that's the main reason why it took me so freaking long to actually learn the handstand. Because my right wrist was injured and I just could not train it. So if you warm up your wrists before every single workout, then I can guarantee you that you will achieve your handstand in a much shorter time than I did, because you won't have any injuries holding you back. I can actually show you the oldest video of me doing the handstand, which is on the February of last year. And in this video I held the handstand for 20 seconds, which was the personal best for me at the time. Alright, let's finally start talking about the thing that you came here to learn, how to actually do the handstand. And the first part of actually learning the handstand is going to be strength requirements, because you will need to have a decent level of strength to actually hold the handstand. And the strength requirements for the handstand is 20 push-ups and 10 pike push-ups. I chose push-ups because they are like the most basic and fundamental calisthenics exercise, and anyone should be able to do at least 20 push-ups before learning any kind of calisthenics skill. That is like the most basic strength requirement in calisthenics. And I chose pike push-ups because they're the best bodyweight shoulder exercise, and you need to have strong shoulders if you want to do the handstand, because the muscle that's being worked the most in a handstand is your shoulders, and if you don't have strong shoulders, you just won't be able to hold yourself up. The next thing that I want to talk about is, should you do handstands on the floor or should you do handstands on parallels? I mostly use parallettes because, as I said before, I injured my right wrist at the beginning of my handstand journey. And it's quite painful for me to hold a handstand just on the floor. And only in the past couple of weeks I have been doing handstands on the floor and doing some wrist rehab exercises. And it's actually starting to feel a lot better. But I've been doing handstands on parallettes for all this time because it's much healthier for your wrists. And let me show you how. Your wrists, when you do a handstand on parallettes, are in a neutral position. They're not stretched out in any single way. But if you do handstands on the floor, they are like in a 90-degree angle with your forearm, which is like, I think, in my opinion, this is a much unhealthier angle for your wrist to be in, but especially if you have injuries. So if you have any wrist injuries, then I would definitely recommend you to do handstands on parallettes like these. But if you don't have any wrist injuries, then you definitely can do handstands on the floor. But please do not be a dumbass like me and warm up your wrists so you don't get injured. The next thing that I want to talk about is warming up your wrists. And as I said before, the main reason why I injured my right wrist is because I just did not warm it up properly. So warming up your wrist is super crucial because if you do not warm them up, you will injure them. And when you injure your wrists, it's impossible for you to train the handstand. Another reason why warming up your wrists is super important is the fact that you have never placed them under so much pressure before in your life. Now you start learning the handstand and you just put all your body weight on your wrists. And your wrists are super confused because it's the first time that you have done something like that to them. And if you don't warm them up, then it's only a question of time, of how long it takes before your wrists get injured. So let me show you my wrist warm-up routine that I do before every handstand session. Get down on your knees, place your hands on the ground like this, and do some circles around your wrists. And now to the other side. Now flip your hands around like this. And do the same thing. Now turn your hands inwards like this, as far as you can. And do the same thing. Now flip your hands around like this. This is going to be a bit more uncomfortable, but yeah, and do some circles as well. Yeah, this one hurts a bit more. And now place your hands on the ground like this and do some, I don't know how you call it, forward leans, I think. Just lean forward as far as you can and come back. Lean forward and come back. Do this a couple of times. Now flip your hands around like this and do the same thing, but instead of going forward, go backward. You should really feel the stretch in your forearms right here. And yeah, that's the wrist warm-up routine. Now let's move on to the handstand exercises. And we'll start from the easiest exercises to the most difficult. And the first exercise is the pike hold. Get into this position, lean forward as far as you can, and hold yourself in this position for as long as you can. And this is a really great exercise for warming up and strengthening your wrists and shoulders, and also just getting them used to holding up your body weight. The second exercise is basically the same pike hold, but with your feet elevated above the ground, and I'm using a chair. And this exercise is a lot more difficult than the first exercise because you're holding up more of your body weight. The next exercise is a handstand hold against the wall, and this is a really simple exercise because all you're doing is just kicking yourself up against the wall and just holding this position for as long as you can. And this is a really great exercise to just get your body used to being upside down. And I would recommend you to keep your legs bent like this because that's the only way how you're going to keep your back straight. The next exercise is a handstand hold against the wall, but instead your back facing the wall, your stomach is facing the wall. And this is a much better exercise than the handstand hold with your back against the wall. Because if you do a handstand hold with your back against the wall, it's much easier to learn a banana handstand. But however, if you're doing a handstand hold with your stomach facing the wall, your back is automatically straight. The next exercise is a handstand hold against the wall, but instead of just holding yourself up in a handstand position, you're kicking yourself off the wall while switching your legs. And this is a really great exercise to actually feel how it feels to balance on your hands. And the last exercise is a handstand hold against the wall while kicking both of your feet off the wall and just trying to balance yourself for as long as you can. And this is a really great exercise for learning how to balance yourself without the wall. And once you can balance yourself for about 10 seconds, then you can move on to doing handstands without the wall. Now that we are done with the exercises, let me show you how to actually balance yourself in the handstand position. And I was stuck on this part for quite a while because I had the strength to hold myself up and I could kick myself up, but I just could not balance myself when I was in the handstand position because I just did not know how. So yeah, here's how you balance yourself in the handstand. And let's start with the parallettes. And the balancing with the parallettes looks something like this. You basically move your hands like in these positions. If you are falling forwards, then you should push your hands forwards like this. And if you're falling backwards, then you should push your hands backwards like this. And it looks something like this from the side. Let's say you're in the handstand and you're falling forwards. If you push yourself forward like this with your hands, you will automatically come back. Can you see my hands? Like this. And if you are falling backwards on a handstand like this, if you push your hands backwards like this, then you will come forward. See? It's like this. But however, if you are doing the handstand on the floor with your hands, the balancing is a little bit different and it looks something like this. If you are falling forwards while doing a handstand on the floor, then you should just grip your fingers in the ground and you will come back. See? Like this. You're falling forwards, push your fingers in the ground and you will come back. And if you're falling backwards, then it's a little bit more complicated because you don't have anything to push yourself forward. So you just lean with your body forward. So it's basically, if you're doing the handstand on the floor, all that you're doing is just leaning forward and then just pressing with your fingers in the ground so you're not falling forward. So you see what I mean? It's a little bit easier to do it on the parallettes because you can control the position. You can push forward and you can push backwards. But if you're doing it on the floor, then you can only push backwards. You can, the only thing how you can push forward is by just leaning your body forwards. I hope that you get what I mean. Yeah, that's how you balance your handstand. The next thing that we should talk about is how to exit the handstand. Because if you don't know how to exit the handstand, then you can just fall down on your head and get seriously injured. And I don't want that to happen for you. Alright, here's my favorite way how to exit the handstand. So, whenever I feel like I'm falling forward, I just release my left arm and fall down to the left side, like that. And here's how it looks from a different angle. Just like that. And yeah, that's how you exit the handstand. If it's easier for you to do it on the right side, then of course do it on the right side, because it's different for each person. And there are different ways to exit the handstand. I've seen some people do like forward rolls and front flips. Yeah, those are definitely not the ways to exit the handstand for a complete beginner. So if you're a complete beginner, then I would recommend you to try to exit the handstand just like I did. Another thing that we should talk about is the difference between a banana handstand and a straight handstand. And I have already mentioned the banana handstand a couple of times in this video. So you're probably wondering, well, is the banana handstand really bad for you? And I haven't researched it, but in my opinion, it is bad for your back. Because your back is in a curved position, and I don't think that it's a healthy position for your back to be in. So if you have a banana handstand, then I would definitely recommend you to start training for the straight handstand. And the three major differences between the banana handstand and the straight handstand are these. The first difference is your shoulders. In a banana handstand, your shoulders are closed, but in a straight handstand, your shoulders are open. The second difference is your pelvic tilt. In a straight handstand, you have a posterior pelvic tilt, but in a banana handstand, you have an anterior pelvic tilt. And the pelvic tilt is basically this movement right here. And the third major difference is your feet. In a banana handstand, your feet are going to be relaxed and in a banana position. But in a straight handstand, your feet and legs are going to be straight and your feet are going to be pointed up. And these are the three major differences between a banana and a straight handstand. And I would definitely recommend you to start training for the straight handstand. And the best exercise for you to do that is a handstand hold against the wall, with your stomach facing the wall. Another tip that could help you go from a banana handstand to a straight handstand is, instead of kicking up to a handstand from this position, lean a bit more forward and point your butt upwards. And this will open up your shoulders, so when you kick up to a handstand, your shoulders are automatically in the correct position for you to be in a straight handstand. The next thing that I want to tell you, if you want to learn a good handstand, is you're going to need to have a ton of patience. Like, as I said before, it took me about 3 years to learn to hold a handstand for about 30 seconds. But yeah, that's with all the injuries and, stuff like that. But if you do everything correctly, then it will take you at least 6 months, if not more. So yeah, be patient, trust the process, and do not give up. There will be a ton of days where you will feel like you're making no progress and you will just want to give up. But it's especially important that in those days you go and work out. And I'm saying this from experience because I had a ton of days where I felt like I had no progress and I just wanted to give up. Like, what's the point of working out this much and not seeing any progress? But I went and worked out in those days anyways. And what do you know? Right now I can hold a handstand for a minute straight. So I'm super grateful that my younger self continued to work out even when he did not feel like it. And he was patient and waited for the progress. Now that we are done talking about basically every single thing that you need to know if you want to learn the handstand, now I want to tell you how often you should train your handstand. And handstand is the skill that you can train like every single day, because it's not that difficult on your joints and your... Sorry. Oh my god, what is that? And handstand is a skill that you can train like every single day, because it's not that hard on your joints and your muscles. It's just a handstand hold that you are like holding your body upside down. And for the best results, you can just hold the handstand every single day for like 10 to 15 minutes. It does not even take that long. But if you do like a 10 to 15 minute session every single day, then you will see some major progress in a couple of months. And when you actually achieve your handstand, you might be thinking, where can I progress further? And the skills that I learned after my handstand, the first skill was the bent arm handstand press. The second skill was pike bent arm handstand press. And the third skill was a handstand push-up. And when you get really strong, you can do deep handstand push-ups, 90-degree handstand push-ups, all sorts of bent and straight arm handstand presses. So when you learn the handstand, your journey doesn't end there. There are a ton of new skills that you can learn after your handstand. Alright, so now I have covered basically every single thing that you need to know if you want to learn a handstand. And now I just want to wish you good luck and have fun, because there's no point of even doing anything if you're not gonna enjoy it and have fun. I hope that this video is helpful to you, and if you have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I will try to answer every single one of them. And if this video was helpful to you, then I would be really grateful if you left a like or even subscribe to my channel and comment down below what kind of videos you would like to see from me more. Have a beautiful day and good luck on your handstand journey. Peace!